Good morning and good job getting here. I see some of you are here who aren't often able to come, so glad to have you. And it's a stormy morning in Portland. It's a good morning for yoga. There's no not good mornings for yoga. It's quite stormy, so we get to practice gratitude for having a home, and we're not so subject to the elements right now. We're also going to practice this next Yama in the series. This one is called Arjava, and it's spelled Arjava, Arjava. And I've been reflecting on it for you since our class yesterday morning. So we'll take the next step today. So please take a comfortable seat. You can rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Even when the weather is ever changing outside, there can be an inner, what we call constancy, or an inner abiding presence that our yoga practice brings us to. And that abiding presence is not subject to the fluctuations. Whether those are the fluctuations in the weather or quote unquote the market or the fluctuations in our minds. I want to encourage you to sense arriving in that place in you that isn't subject to the fluctuations. Sometimes you make contact with that sense, your inner abiding presence, even if there are mental fluctuations, like the sky is not made smaller by the storm. The sky is not made smaller by the patterns of birds going through it. And this inner abiding presence is not contained by the dimensions of the physical body, and it can't be made smaller by the thought clusters that come and go through that presence. As we aim to touch that inner presence, one of the ways we might think of the practice of yoga is helping to resolve the dust on the mirror. We're helping to clear the obstacles for our perception to be more aligned with truth. We also could think of the practice as helping to reconnect or recalibrate the brain and the body. So there's not just a sense of this abiding presence, but an inner felt kind of agreement that the mind, the body, the brain, the heart, we feel that it is deeply true, not only that it is spoken as true in the sort of yogic texts and such. So as we endeavor forth, please raise your hands to your heart. Invite your breathing now to deepen and to become smoother. May our practice help us to integrate the teachings of Arjava, the Sanskrit word, means being straightforward, being direct, expressing ourselves in a forthright manner, not zigging and zagging, not tap dancing or hula hooping, but really being present with our words and our actions and our relationships with the utmost sincerity and with the absence of hypocrisy. Okay, let's chant Asatoma Satgamaya. Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Asatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands momentarily and open your eyes. I would like you to have a yoga strap nearby. We're going to practice opening the upper regions of the torso first. We're also going to use the eye activities that we've been doing so we can imagine integrating the hemispheres of the brain and also sensing the power of the eyes for kind of reviving parts of our surround, our proprioception, and then our interoception. So just starting with a comfortable upright seat, you can close the eyes. And then repeating what we've been learning, we're going to add to it. Let's inhale and glide your eyes to the left. And exhale, glide to your right. I'll go left. Exhale smoothly to your right. Inhale up behind the eyebrows. Exhale down behind the cheekbones. Inhale going up. Exhale down. And then inhale up to 2 p.m., up and to the right. Down and left like 7 p.m. up and right, down and left, up and left as if 10 p.m., down and right like 4 p.m., up and left, and down and right. Rest your gaze in the center. Relax not only your eyes, but also your breath and your mind. You bring your left hand across to your right knee. Let's do 2 straight arms. When you inhale, raise the chest and the heart up. And it's a little bit limited, but pretend it's like cow pose and take your gaze up behind the eyebrows. And then exhale, round your spine like cat pose and gaze down behind your cheekbones. Inhale, raise forward and up. Exhale, come down and in, and with the eyes closed, gaze behind your cheekbones. And this time as you inhale, raise up, also raise your right arm. And exhale, open, raise your left arm. Exhale, open to your left. Inhale, raise up through your left arm. And exhale, return your left hand to your right. Let's do that again. Inhale, raise up. The eyes are closed, but imagine that you're following your left thumb. Inhale, raise up. As if the eyes are following your left thumb. Exhale, return your left hand to your right hand. Come to center. Bring your right hand over to your left. And inhale, go up like cow pose. Gaze up behind the eyebrows. Exhale, curl down and in like cat pose. Inhale, raise up with the eyes closed, also gaze up. And exhale, curl down and in. Inhale, raise your right arm, and as if following with your eyes, even though the eyes are closed, exhale, open to your right. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, return your right hand to your left. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, open to your right. Imagine you're gazing at your right thumb. Inhale, raise, eyes closed, but following your thumb. Exhale, return. And then come to center. Relax your eyes and your mind and your forehead and just check in to see what quality of mental concentration is there. And then reach for your yoga strap, please. So with the yoga strap, let's place it in the left hand up overhead. And like we did standing yesterday, you're going to take the strap out with the right hand like this. And then exhale, side bend to your right and touch the floor with your right hand, which means lengthen the distance between the right and left hand on the strap as you need to. Press the left hand up against the strap. So you're going to side bend and then rotate to your left. Press the left thigh down and your left shin down also. Continue pressing the left hand up into the strap. What you've done here is called closing the chain or giving some resistance to the left arm. And twist your chest to the left, but turn to look down past your right hand. And then exhale, rise back up to your seat. Release your right hand from the strap. Take the left hand from the strap, excuse me, put your right hand in the strap. It's my left hand, so you could give me a break sometimes on my lefts and rights. Okay, right arm up, left arm out. So I'm taking about as if I was an airplane, chaperone, like with the cone, like that. I'm just taking this gesture to start, which you could do the same, but as you side bend to your left, if you need to make the distance between the two hands bigger, then go ahead and do so. Okay, press down with the strap and up with your right hand. Side bend and rotate to your right. So side bend left, rotate right. Keeping your right hip and thigh grounded and the right hand pressing up, start rotating your gaze down to the left. Look down past your left hand. And then exhale and raise up. Use your right low belly to come up and release the strap down. Okay, let's put that aside and please come to table pose. You can put your blankets aside too. Okay, in table pose, place your left hand well ahead of your right hand. Drop your right elbow back and down. And then as you release the weight of your head, rotate your nose to your right. Breathe in deeply. So where the hands are placed right now, keep them as they are. And as you next inhale, come up and pull forward into this kind of cow pose where the hands are farther apart. And let's inhale, glide the hips back, touch the left elbow down. And exhale, release your head, look under your right arm. Inhale, pull forward to cow pose. This time with one movement, exhale, glide back, touch the left elbow down, look under your right arm. Inhale, pull forward to cow pose. And exhale, reach back, touch the left elbow down, gaze under your right arm. Inhale to table pose itself. Take your left hand well forward of your right, drop the right elbow down. Release the weight of your head, look under your left arm. You can feel into the left side of the waist, maybe even the left lower back. Okay, and then as you inhale, pull forward to cow pose with the two hands separated. And exhale, glide back, one smooth movement, touch the right elbow down, look under your left arm. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, draw back, look under. And once more, inhale forward. And exhale, reach back. Then come to table pose, and then to Vajrasana, come to kneeling. Rest your hands in your lap. And just try to sense again, like what's happening with the feeling tone of mental concentration. One thing I was saying yesterday about Arjava is the intention is to be direct, to be straightforward, to offer our sincerity, our vulnerability, our expression of honesty, no hypocrisy. But sometimes we're in conflict with ourselves between a right brain sense and a left brain sense, a right brain longing or desire or deep inner feeling, and then the left brain kind of shutting that down or saying what we should or should not do, or our language center is on the left brain and on the left side of the brain, and we can end up not having the words for what we want to express. And so if we can integrate the two hemispheres of the brain, how is that going to benefit the practice of Arjava? That's one of our hypotheses here. So let's take the two blocks, and we're going to continue with the sense of the contralateral cross crawl practice. So place your blocks for table pose. Okay, inhale to cat pose. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cow. Curl the toes under. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, right knee forward. Inhale, plank. Exhale, left knee forward. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now inhale, forward plank pose. And exhale, right knee forward, gaze to your right. Inhale, right foot under and across. And then open to your left. Sweep your left arm past your left ear. And exhale, bring your left hand down to its block. Inhale, plank pose. Okay, exhale, left knee forward, gaze to your left. Inhale, left foot under and across. Exhale to open. Inhale, right arm past your right ear. And exhale, lower the right hand down. Inhale, plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. Okay, with an exhale, step your right foot forward, left foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva. Exhale, hands to the heart. Okay, Surya Namaskar. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, left toes straight back. Inhale, rise up to crescent. Exhale, hand to the heart. Bring your gaze down to your fingertips. Inhale, arms forward, gaze at your thumbs. Exhale, follow your right thumb. Inhale to center. Exhale, hands to the heart, gaze to your fingertips. Inhale, reach up and gaze up. Exhale, arms wide, come slowly down. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, right knee up, gaze to your right. Inhale, right foot under and across. And then exhale to open, press into your right arm for strength. Inhale, left arm past your left ear. And then exhale, bring the left hand down onto the block. And now start lowering the right outer hip towards the floor. We're not going to go all the way down, but as you lower part way, you might sense the right side of the waist or the right outer hip. And then inhale, lift the hips, step to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. With your next exhale, bring the left foot forward. That's the base of your crescent. Inhale to rise. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Gaze at your fingertips. Inhale forward. Exhale, follow your left thumb. Inhale to center. Exhale to the fingertips. Inhale, raise up and look up. And exhale, arms wide, come down, touch the two blocks. Inhale to plank pose. Okay, exhale, left knee forward. Inhale, left foot under as you gaze left. Exhale to open. Inhale, right arm past your right ear. And exhale, right hand down. And then practice lowering the left outer hip partway to the floor. And inhale, energize the arms, step to plank pose. And exhale, downward facing dog pose. Exhale, one foot forward, second foot forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, hands to your heart. Repeat that. We're going to add to it. I'm going to move my microphone because I'm about to step on it. Okay, so bring your hands to your heart. While you stand in mountain pose, use the next couple breath cycles. We'll take the eyes back into focus. So you can kind of bring the mind back into its central place, like that inner abiding presence that doesn't fluctuate with the weather, with our thoughts, even with the yoga poses. So as you inhale, gaze to your right without opening the eyes. Exhale, gaze left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale down. Now inhale, sweep the hands down, wide and up. You may look up, meet your thumbs there. Exhale, hands to the heart and Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Okay, exhale, take the left toes straight back. Now follow your right thumb. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, return. Inhale, raise up. Follow your right thumb. Exhale, open to your right. Inhale, return up. Exhale, fingertips. Inhale, forward to the thumbs. Exhale, open, follow your right thumb. Inhale, forward. And exhale down. Okay, inhale to plank. And exhale, right knee forward, gaze to your right. Step under, you know where you're going. You don't have to look for it. And then exhale, open up and turn your left heel flat to the floor. Inhale, reach your left arm past your left ear. And exhale, reach into your left heel, left toes, left fingers, left thumb. Now exhale, bring the left hand down while keeping the left heel grounded. And inhale, return to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. When you next exhale, step your left foot forward. Inhale to rise. Oh, sorry, we're going to twist. Inhale, twist to your left and follow your left thumb. Exhale, follow your thumb to come back down. Good. Inhale, rise up. Follow your thumbs. Exhale, open to your left. Inhale, raise up. Exhale, down to the fingertips. Inhale, forward. Exhale, open to the left. Inhale, forward. Exhale to come down. Now we'll inhale to plank pose. Exhale, left knee up, gaze to your left. Inhale, left foot under, and you know where that's going, so you don't have to look. And then exhale, pivot your right heel and open to your right. Inhale your right arm past your right ear. And then exhale, lower your right hand down to the block. Keep the left arm strong and the right heel grounded. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Inhale, plank. And then touch the knees down and reach back to child's pose with the exhale. And in this child's pose, lift the base of your skull so you can sense that your head is in alignment with your spine. And walk your hands down to the floor near to your knees. If possible, bring your forehead down to the floor. As you inhale, roll up to rabbit pose or hare pose. So come to the crown of the skull. Exhale, roll down to child's pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, roll up to rabbit pose. Exhale, roll down to child's pose. And do that twice more. One more time. And then walk yourself up to Vajrasana. And let's check again on this inner quality of concentration or steadiness. Notice what is happening with your mind. Okay, so we're going to visit something from last week's class. Let me put my blankets a little further aside. This is involving another kind of the improvisation from last week where we took the knees down and to the side. And then you ended up in a variation on Bharadvajasana and then Supta Virasana. You don't have to know the names, but I'm just giving you a little reference. So as we move through it, let's listen for how sometimes at physical end range, your body is stopping there, the physical body, but the subtle body has something more to explore or to express. So I'd like you to come over to, let's start in table pose. And then lift the knees and come to plank pose. Okay, bring your knees down and then to your right. And lower the left outer hip slowly to the floor. Keep your left arm strong and straight. Okay, and then raise back up, plank pose smoothly. And then knees down and to your left. Lower the right outer hip, keep the right arm strong, and then raise back up, plank pose. And continue that slowly. So when your outer hip touches down, perhaps it reaches, perhaps it doesn't. Then the exhale is completing, and your inhale brings you up to plank pose. Let's do one more time on each side. And arrive in plank pose. And then touch the knees down. Okay, so that's sort of a very physical process. Let me just check something on our setup here. I have to do it with these glasses. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can do it. Got it. Okay. So now we're going to see what is the experience if you're going into the physical pose and you abide there, what happens with the subtle body. So if you place the two hands, come to your plank pose. Okay, let's take the knees down and to the left and lower the right outer hip, keeping the right arm strong. So you might feel the right side of the waist there a little bit. You press down through your right arm. And listen for what happens in the right side of the waist. Like, yes, the myofascial system is there, but what is also happening, you could ask, with the ascending colon? And then even more than that, can the mind come down from the low belly towards the earth? Then press into the right hand, raise back up to your plank pose. And knees down and to your left. So now we're on the descending colon, but also on the subtle body. So as you're coming down with the left outer hip, keep the left elbow strong. The left shoulder is probably shrugging up towards your ear. You might sense the myofascial system, like the left side waist or the left outer hip. But see if you can also go deeper than muscles and bones and try to sense what's happening as energy moves. If you were to imagine going from the lower belly down towards the earth. Like, take your eyes down there too and see, what does that bring to you? And press into your left hand, return to plank pose. Now touch the knees down and put the block so that one block is going to be medium and the other block is going to be tall. You are not quite sure where to place them. That would be appropriate. We don't quite know. But we're going to come into the same kind of process and then step into Bharadvajasana and then Supta Virasana. So let's start in table pose. Pick up the knees and shift them over to the left side. Press down through your right arm. Take the left foot and step it back. Use your left hand to help place your left foot down. Okay, and then roll the right shoulder open and twist to your left. And then raise up. You might be wondering about the blocks. Don't wonder, they're going to come into use in a little bit here. So press the left shin down, right shin down, tone the right butt so your hips are lifted, energize your right arm, roll that shoulder back. All of that speaks to the physicality of the pose. But notice if you send your gaze down to the pelvis, lower belly, the shins. If the subtle body is more grounded, and what happens in the upper body. Exhale, bring the left arm across your face. Please lower your right hip down. And then come up to sit with your left foot behind the hip like this. And now we're going to lie backwards. That's why the blocks are there. So you want the first block to be there for your shoulder blades. The second block is there for your head. The arms overhead. Lengthen your left hip flexors, your left quadricep. Yes, those things are happening. Tone the left butt, but even more than that, place your gaze down from the pelvis to the lower belly, left thigh, and beyond. Bring your right knee up so you've got your right foot flat on the floor. And then center your hips so they're not tipping down to the right. You have centered the pelvis. Lengthen your tailbone towards your left knee. And place your eyes and your mind down in the pelvis and the lower belly. And let's release the arms out into a T shape. Lower the right hip back down. Tip your right knee out to the side. How we came down is how we're going back up. So let's take the left arm, rise up to your seat, and twist to your right. And then come over to table pose. Let's do the other side. Okay, so you just hover the knees a tiny bit off the floor and shift them over to the right, and then lower the left outer hip down. Use your right hand to take your right foot, so it goes behind like that. Okay, raise the right arm open, and then up. Now, of course, the inclination is to look up and to reach, but I'm actually asking you to put your gaze down behind your cheekbones and down into the pelvis, down into the lower belly. As you root your right shin, left shin, as you tone the left butt, as you put your gaze down, notice what happens in the lower part of the subtle body. Also be benefiting what can happen in the other parts of the subtle body. First, bring your right arm across your face, lower the left hip down. And now those blocks are back there. It may not be that you're perfectly set up, but go ahead and walk back and check. The shoulder blades on the first block, the head on the second block. Bringing my first block closer, using an awkward methodology. So you may feel the right hip flexors, you may feel the right quadriceps. Let's take the arms overhead. Put your mind down into the lower belly and the pelvis. And try to sense what happens if you also gaze down that way. Bend the left knee, so your left foot's going to be flat on the floor. So raise the left knee up, I should say. And see if you can level the hips. So what you're doing there is, it's possible that your hips don't touch the floor now, or it's possible they both touch equally. Lengthen the tailbone towards your right knee. Open the arms out into a T shape. And keeping your mind down in the pelvic basin, gaze down. And then touch the left hip down, open the left knee out to the side. Okay, raise the right arm up. Rise up and twist to your left. And then you can place the hands and shift again to table pose and then to Vajrasana. Come into your Vajrasana and let's take notice. Our mind to come down and down into the subtle body. Conflict between our right brain and our left brain in terms of expressing the deep inner emotion or the longing or the creativity, and the left brain requesting that we don't do that, coming up with lists of shoulds and should nots. The conflict between the right and left brain began a long time ago. So drop your mind down into this pelvic basin and just see what is present there right now. You could just kind of lightly have a question or a working hypothesis for yourself. Where did the divide start? And what can you do to address that lovingly? I'd like you to take 2 blankets like this. And hold them length to length. So, and then at one end of your blankets, begin to firmly roll up the blankets, very firmly. Roll them so you're going to end up with a large blanket wheel. And this blanket wheel, we're going to be placing the sternum right here. And then that means that the belly does not have pressure on it. And you're going to place your blocks at the right height for your head. And your chin should not feel like it's being imposed upon. This is called supported child's pose. And let's see if the attention can stay down in the pelvic basin. Let the breath come down, the eyes. Even if you're just working with imagination, you could invite whatever is held in the first or second chakra in the subtle body, whatever is held there that perpetuates that divide between the right and left brain, maybe it could be resolved. It will give you more capacity for Arjava. And ask for it to be resolved in whatever way is healing or harmonious or promotes a sort of access that you could have to your inner abiding presence. You don't have to know all the words or the dates or the narratives about whatever is healing right now. Place your hands. You can roll up from child's pose. Let's take our blanket stack. Come onto your back, please. When you come to this shavasana, you can ask again, may there be some healing. The practice of Arjava implies that we are in a place in our life or our mind or our well-being, our relationships. We're in a community where we value each other's relationship and we have respect and mutuality, and we can practice a sort of directness or sincerity. And yet with the unresolved split between the hemispheres of the brain, it's very hard to practice Arjava. So when you come to Shavasana, ask for there to be healing, whether you have words for it or dates or narratives. You might use a phrase like, may that split be healed, or may my two brains work better together. May the obstacles be resolved, whatever phrase would work for you. Your eyes and your mind down in the lower pelvis. From the mind and your eyes to stay down in the lower pelvis. That can help prevent distracting thoughts. You ask, may there be healing, or may there be integration, or may the split be healed, whatever it is. It's possible that images will come, possible that they won't. Allow your mind to deeply rest while your body receives the internal healing. You're welcome. The last couple minutes of Shavasana. Imagine that from your healing request, there comes to be a deep and abiding peace. You're able to gaze at the process, but the part of you that is not in the fluctuations. You're doing that from that loving, abiding presence. It's not dissociation. Sometimes the healing work goes on, but particularly it's helpful if our intention and attention can return. We're going to transition from Shavasana, roll your head side to side. So know that the healing that you're asking for right now can continue through the day, but it's going to be benefited by anytime you put your attention and intention back there. Now we can wiggle the fingers, the toes. Let's roll to your side. And find your way back up to sitting. Sit, rest your hands in your lap and your mind down in the sort of pelvic basin. The split we feel in the two hemispheres of the brain did not start yesterday. So you can have a sense like an internal bow towards the mysteries and the dilemmas, but also from that inner sense of your deep and calm abiding presence. Hands in the mudra for the first chakra. Lam, 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 lam. Lam, 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 lam. Lum, 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 lum. We'll also include the second chakra today. Wam, 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 wam. Wam, 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 wam. Wam, 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 wam. Rest your hands where you like. We'll just sit in silence for a couple of minutes. Raise your hands to your heart. May the healing that you're requesting from your practice, may it continue through the day. May we find ourselves at those opportunities for Arjava. May we find ourselves pausing, not to go reflexively on default mode, but to seek the resolution of the conflict so that we can speak then with sincerity and directness. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. So a reminder that the yamas are a practice that we do in community. It's in relationship. They do apply to us, and we can imagine it as an internal process as well. But the yamas were cultivated by our ancestor yogis for how we live harmoniously together. And so we began with ahimsa, nonviolence, and then satya, truthfulness or honesty, asteya, not taking that which isn't ours, nor stealing somebody else's opportunity for growing or evolving, brahmacharya, respecting our vitality and the vitality of others, and how those vitalities might mix or mingle or not. And then a parigraha, not holding on, not hoarding, not possessing more than we need, a kind of radical simplicity in terms of possessiveness. And then we came into daya, which means compassion or mercy. Here we are on the journey, finding that it's difficult. It's not 100% easy. And then vritti, to be able to be steadfast when there's adversity, like maintain that daya when the challenges are coming. And now Arjava. So you're going to be promoted inside to want to speak clearly, to want to give direct, straightforward, even forthright expression of yourself, not forgetting the indwelling suchness of the other, but wanting to respect that so that you have a greater depth in your relationship, a greater sense of respect or transparency or mutuality. And given that we have this historical split between the right brain and the left brain, we're going to find ourselves in a bind from time to time. We want to express, but should I say that? How will it influence the other? Am I allowed to say that? When did we learn to be timid or to keep modifying ourselves relationally? And what can we do now, moving through the yamas, to be here and practice Arjava? We're not talking about being direct, like just like a New Yorker. I am a New Yorker. It's not with disregard for the other. It's with a full sense of regard for each other, for both of us. So I wanted to make sure you had that understanding before we sign off today. And thank you for improvising, meandering. You know, we're kind of opening up neural networks in your brain. We're working with the eyes and the concentration and everything, and also the chakras. So thanks for being interested in a full spectrum practice also. Now we'll see you tomorrow. Let me end the recording here so that I can be with the students who are in the Zoom room. I have to just